Hey Gators!
Today is kind of a big deal.
Huge deal.
Because we are joining my family for an annual Norton tradition and we are making pickles. So today we will take you through the process, everything from where we go shopping for our supplies to the ingredients and then how to actually make them and all the info in case you want to try to make them at home.
And it's my first time making pickles, so I'm kind of excited.
He's kind of a big deal. He's the VIP of the pickle day. So here we go.
Shiny.
It's shiny. Okay, we'll update you when we get there. The first thing we have to do is get our cucumbers, which will be our pickles, and all the other ingredients and supplies we need. We do our shopping at Durr's Cucumber Farm, which is where we are right now, in Puyallup, Washington, right off of River Road. It's kind of a one-stop shop for pickle makers, and it is also a great produce stand, so let's head inside and see what they got. At Durr's, cucumbers are about 20 bucks per 100 cucumbers, which means you just count them out and tell them at the register how much you have, and they ring you up. Today we are buying 300 cucumbers of the medium and small sizes to make our pickles. In addition to our cucumbers, we are going to need fresh garlic, so we are going to grab 8 heads of that and a couple bags of dried peppers for a little bit of spice. And we cannot forget the fresh dill, because dill is what makes a dill pickle. So we are going to grab 5 bottles of fresh dill, find some pickling and canning salt, some vinegar, new seals for our mason jars at home, and then head back to make pickles. So after shopping, these are all the ingredients. You have to have your cucumbers, which will be your pickles, your dill, and your dried peppers and garlic for flavor, and then your canning and pickling salt and your vinegar for the pickling process. And now we're going to take these ingredients and prep them. So the first step is Lybeck's favorite part.
Peeling the garlic.
We're almost done. We just have this little one and this garlic piece left. And next, to prep our pickles, we are washing our cucumbers in some cold water to scrub all the dirt and feel the yucky off of them.
Bugs.
And bugs. Okay, so now we are going to show you how we fill our pickle jars. So we start with our washed cucumbers, and we have all different sizes in here. You're going to want to start with your bigger ones first, because they're going to take up the most space. So it depends on the cucumbers and their shape on how many you can fit. Usually 6 to 7. So you're gonna get your bottom layer in there. And then we've learned the hard way that if you save all of your flavoring stuff for the end, it'll push against the top and make it so you don't get a great seal. So we're gonna put our flavors and our spices in, starting with 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, depending on, so these are all smaller, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop 3 in there. And then peppers, this is where your spice comes from. So if you don't like really spicy food, stick with maybe 1 or 2 smaller ones. If you like them really spicy, maybe 3 or 2 big ones. I like the pickles super spicy, so I'm gonna do these 2 big ones. Drop those in there. It's got a big stem, so I'm gonna break that off. Put those in there, and then we're making dill pickles, so we need some dill, which we already pre-did. So you can use any part, the flower pieces or the greenery. You're gonna tuck that in there. And you want lots of dill, because that's where a majority of the flavor comes from. Some recipes like to use different pickling spices or mustards, and that's just all personal preference. Like Lybeck and I often tell you, this is just how we're doing it, but it's not the only right way. So I'm gonna put in some dill. And then when you're done adding your spices, which for us is our hot peppers, our garlic, and our dill, you're gonna add your top layer of pickles. And that's where we're gonna use some of these smaller ones. And I kind of lay them in there horizontally. Have as many as you can in there, but the trick is for these to seal properly for the process, you don't want them to go really past this line, because then we're gonna fill all this up with the brine, seal it, and let it sit for 3 weeks before we can eat them. So that's what we're gonna show you next. Are you ready to fill one up? Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. I was intruding in your personal space.
Here, put some of this in there. Grab some. Like Jordan.
See, look.
Put some in. Here. In here. Put that in there. Good job. Whee!
Now that we've filled them, we're gonna take them over there and seal them and see what the brine's made of.
Okay, so over here we have a couple of different things. We have the brine in that pot right there, which was 15 cups water, right?
Yeah.
And how much vinegar? 10 cups vinegar. And how much of the canning pickling salt? 1 cup. And that's technically a double batch. So the pickles get brought over here, and the jars get filled with that brine mix to there, and then they get sealed with the sealing lid, which comes out of the boiling water. It gets dried, because if there's water, it will break the seal, and if it doesn't seal properly, then the pickle or the cucumbers won't pickle. You can't pour in too much brine, because then the water will break the seal, but if there's not enough and there's too much air, then it won't get sucked down and seal properly either. And then how long do they have to pickle before we eat them?
A month.
A month, give or take. And that is the pickle process. How does
Indeed.
it feel to have made your first?
Well, they're not done yet. Something could go wrong. You know, that happens.